It was a Tuesday morning right before recess when the announcement came over the intercom. At first, I didn't process what I was hearing. The principal's voice was trembling. "Lockdown! Lockdown! All staff, lock your doors and remain in your classrooms! There's a student with a firearm in room 5! My blood turned cold. Room 5? That's my son's class. I've been teaching at Sky High for almost a year now and never thought I'd be scared for my son's safety or mine inside the school premises. Every horrible possibility rushed through my head. I imagined him in that room, confused, terrified, maybe frozen in place. I could see my 10-year-old boy trapped with an armed student. I couldn't contain myself anymore. I cracked the door just an inch, peering down the hallway. Students' voices were muffled behind closed doors. The only other sound was my own breathing. I knew what I was about to do was against every safety rule we'd ever been taught, but he was my son. I told one student to lock up after me so they stay safe and quietly slipped into the hall. Room 5's door was at the far end. My shoes barely touched the ground as I moved, ducking low, my hand clenched around the key ring. Suddenly, I heard an angry warning coming from room 5. "I'll pull this trigger if anyone dared to move! I'm not afraid, I swear!" My chest tightened. I reached the door and peeked through the narrow glass strip. My son, Matthew, was sitting against the far wall, tears streaking his cheeks. In the center of the room stood a taller student, holding a small black handgun. His arm trembled, but his finger was too close to the trigger. I didn't think. I just unlocked the door and stepped in.
"Hey, you don't have to do this."
The boy turned his head at me so fast that I almost heard a crack from his neck. His eyes widened with red veins popping out. He pointed the gun at me. "Get out!" I looked at Matthew and tried to calm him down.
Mama's here, Maddie. Everything's gonna be all right.
"Are you deaf? I told you to leave!" I kept talking to the boy, trying my best to reason with him without intimidating him. He flinched, the gun wavering between me and the group of students huddled near the back. I kept moving, slow and deliberate, until I was close enough to put myself between him and my son.
Just give me the gun, okay? I promise no harm will come to you. We all make mistakes, and that's totally fine.
He started putting the gun down, and I took that opportunity to disarm him. My hand shot out toward the gun. Before I got a full grip, he fired. The sound of the gunshot echoed around. All the children started screaming and crying. A searing pain tore through my side, hot and blinding. I gasped, collapsing halfway to my knees. I heard my son's scream rising above the chaos. With my blurred vision, I saw the boy pinned down to the ground by 2 officers. Even in that pain, I felt relieved. The next thing I felt was Matthew's little hands pressing against the wound.
"Mom! No, please don't die on me! Please!"
His voice cracked, each word breaking me more than the pain.
"Please talk to me. I promise I'll eat all my vegetables at dinner. I'll do all my homework before playing. I need you. Mom, please don't leave me."
I wanted to reach up and hold his face, tell him I wasn't going anywhere, but my arms felt heavy.
I'm... Okay, baby. You're safe now. That's all that matters.
Tears rolled down his cheeks, splashing onto my shirt. He yelled to the officers.
"Help my mom! I already lost my dad! She's the only one I have left!"
His voice was trembling in a way that cut through every ounce of my strength. The paramedics arrived in a few more seconds. They lifted me onto a stretcher. My son refused to let go of my hand until someone promised he could ride with me. As they wheeled me out of the classroom, I saw the boy, the one with the gun, face down on the floor, hands cuffed, an officer's knee in his back. His face was pale, almost blank, like he didn't fully understand what had just happened. But I didn't care. My eyes went back to my son, who was walking beside the stretcher, still holding my hand like it was the only thing tethering me to life. That day, I saw my dead husband's face in my son's eyes when he said,
"You're gonna be fine. You have to be.
The hallway blurred past us, teachers holding their classes back, wide-eyed students peeking through door windows. I could feel every heartbeat in the wound, each one stealing a little more strength. We made it outside to the waiting ambulance. The last thing I remember before the doors shut was my son climbing in after me. The bullet missed anything vital, though the doctor said another inch and I wouldn't be here to write this. My son still sleeps with the light on, and sometimes he wakes up in the middle of the night just to check that I'm still breathing. People always ask why I didn't just stay in my classroom like we're told. The truth is simple. When you're a parent, there's no staying put when your child is in danger. You'd tear down walls, face a gun, and even take a bullet if it means that they get to live another day. That's what people don't understand about these lockdown drills. For parents, every alert isn't just a safety procedure. It's the start of a nightmare where your child's life hangs in the balance. And for too many families, that nightmare ends in silence. I was one of the lucky ones. My son came home that night with his mom still alive. But so many parents never get that miracle. This is what school shootings do. They don't just take lives, they shatter them forever. I've done a lot of dumb things for our YouTube channel, but the night Leah and I explored the local elementary school, we had no idea how our lives were going to change. The school sits in the middle of nowhere. No paved roads, no power lines, just thick woods and silence. It's been abandoned since the fire in '78, when a lockdown drill turned into a nightmare. Most of the kids got out, but a few didn't. Neither did one of the teachers. Locals believed the place is haunted, hence we had to check it out. It took us an hour to hike there, following an overgrown path. The moon barely lit the clearing where the school sat, its windows shattered, brick walls charred black. The moment we stepped inside, our flashlight beams cut through clouds of dust. The air was stale and cold. I began filming. Leah explained the surroundings for our viewers. We were going inside the classrooms in the hallway. The floors were warped, and lockers melted into strange shapes. There were small handprints all over the walls, which the locals say belonged to those children, but I was sure those were just made by raccoons. You see, I'm not a believer in the supernatural, and neither is my girlfriend Leah, and that's why we try to prove to our audience by exploring haunted locations. So far, everything was going well, when suddenly Leah asked,
Did you hear that?
I chuckled, replying, We agreed not to lie to our viewers, Leah. Also, you might need to take some acting classes. She punched me in the arm and whispered,
I heard something from that room.
Leah glanced at me nervously and pushed the door open and went in. But before I could take a step in, the door slammed shut on my face.
Leah!
I yelled, shoving the door. It was like someone was holding it shut from the other side. From inside, I could hear Leah's scream.
Oh my God, what's happening?
I was about to break the door down when I heard children crying inside. Drops of sweat rolled down my spine. Is this place really haunted? Leah's screams were getting louder. I slammed my shoulder against the door until it flew open. The lock gave way and I almost tripped onto the dusty floor inside the classroom. The air stank of smoke so strong it burned my throat. Leah was standing in the corner, pale and shaking. What did you see? What happened in here?
I only saw clouds of smoke and heard kids crying in pain. Oh my God, it was horrible. Let's just get out of here.
We didn't talk much after that, just kept moving, trying to shake off the feeling. That's when my flashlight beam caught something at the far end of the hall. A woman was standing there. The moonlight from the window illuminated her tangled gray hair and slouched shoulders. One side of her face was smooth and pale. The other was mutilated and scrunched. Her clothes were filthy, and she just stared at us. Leah whispered slowly, clutching my shirt.
You do see her, right?
I nodded my head. The woman suddenly backed away and disappeared into the darkness. With a shaking voice, I told Leah that it's better to get the hell out of this place. Just then, we heard a spine-chilling scream, and no doubt it was that same woman. We bolted down the hallway. The lockers started slamming shut on either side of us without anyone touching them. The cry of children again rose from the dusty, forgotten classrooms.
We shouldn't have come here. There's something very wrong with this place.
When we were almost close to the exit, that same woman came running from the adjacent hallway on our right and blocked our way. I don't know how she got there so fast before us. As I noticed her hand, I feared for our safety. She was grabbing tightly to a rusted crowbar. We froze. My heart was hammering so hard it hurt. Leah was about to cry. A woman stepped closer. A weird smile stretched across her face.
You can't lock them in again. I won't let you.
What? No, we're not here.
They were just little ones. My boy, Tommy. He was only 12. I watched him perish into the smoke. I watched him melt into the fire.
She raised her crowbar, looking at us with blank eyes.
I heard him scream. I couldn't get to him. The fire was too fast. By the time they opened the door, he was gone. All of them are gone. And you're here to trap more children. They cry every night. I won't let you do it.
I understood the truth from her words. She's a mother who lost her child, and that trauma never heals. I tried comforting her while Leah called 911. I assured her that we're not here to hurt anyone, and we want to help her. She blinked, like she wasn't sure if she believed me. Then her face twisted, grief curdling into rage.
You're lying!
She screamed, rushing forward with the crowbar raised. Leah screamed, fearing she might hurt me, but the woman was too weak. I grabbed her arm and took the crowbar away. We waited with her until the cops came and made sure that the woman was taken for medical evaluation. Later, I looked up the fire. There really was a boy named Tommy on the list of victims. His mother's name wasn't mentioned anywhere. I guess no one ever cared what happened to her. But I know. It's saddening to think that for so long that poor woman lived in those blackened halls, convinced she was protecting the children she couldn't save. I just hope she got the help she needed. Even though we got many questions answered, still one remains a mystery to this day. Leah and I both heard the children crying, but saw no one. Did you hallucinate? Or is there really something called spirits? What do you think? I'm 13, in 8th grade, and I swear to God I will never forget that Friday afternoon. It was just another boring period before lunch. The sky outside was heavy and gray, making the classroom feel even more dull. I was doodling in the corner of my notebook when the sharp, echoing sound of the lockdown alert blared through the school's PA system. We all froze for a second, but then everyone shrugged it off, thinking it was just another drill. Our teacher, Miss Haley, told us to get under our desks, away from the windows, and be quiet. People were giggling and whispering. Some were even texting under the table. None of us were too worried, until we heard screaming. It felt like someone was screaming desperately for their life. As I listened carefully, I heard sneakers skidding on tile. Whoever was screaming was getting dragged down the hallway. A couple of kids near the door started whispering, asking each other what was going on. That's when Matt, one of the seniors in our mixed science class, slowly crawled in through the little rectangle window of the classroom, gasping, and locked it quickly. I'll never forget the way his face drained of all color.
It's Mr. Kessler. He's gone mad.
Mr. Kessler was our biology teacher. Everyone loved him. He was the cool teacher. He told stories, made stupid science jokes, and even let us eat in class sometimes. But who Matt described didn't sound like Mr. Kessler at all.
He's dragging Jake down the hall. He has a knife. There's blood. His lab coat's covered in it.
Everyone thought he was joking, until he added the knife and blood. Miss Haley's eyes widened in shock. She immediately locked the door and told us to calm down while dialing 911. I was directly across from the window. Suddenly, I caught a glimpse. Mr. Kessler's face was pressed on the glass, and he was watching us. His eyes were wide and fixated on me. He was in some kind of trance. He slowly raised his one hand, clutching a bloody scalpel, and then pulled up Jake, who had this huge slit on his face, bleeding like hell. All the students screamed at the horrible sight. Not even in our wildest dream did we imagine seeing someone mellow and calm like Mr. Kessler behaving this violently. He dropped Jake, who hit the floor unconscious, making a thud, and then knocked at the glass. Leaning close to the window pane, he whispered, "Science class isn't over yet." I could hear his slow breathing through the crack in the door. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I'd die. He spoke again, louder this time, cutting through the silence. "Open the door. I need some more students for a practical exam." A few kids whimpered. Miss Haley tried to reason with him.
Look, you need to calm down, okay? The cops will be here soon. Why are you behaving like this? You're such a good person, Kessler.
Then it hit me, like a cold punch to the gut. 2 days ago, Jake, I, and Louise had been walking past the science lab. Mr. Kessler was inside cleaning jars of preserved specimens, and we mocked him, saying he was playing with dead frogs for fun. I thought it was harmless until now. I stood quiet, praying to God for sending someone for our rescue, but I swear Mr. Kessler was staring straight at me like he needed only one moment to finish me off. He raised his bloody hand again and smeared a thick streak of blood across the glass. Then, pointing at me, he screamed, "I'll show you what a real dissection looks like." A few students started sobbing in panic. Just when I thought we'd be safe inside the class, Mr. Kessler ran the tip of the scalpel along the glass, making this high-pitched squeal that made my teeth hurt. "I'll start with the skin. Peel it back, nice and slow. Look at the muscles, the veins." I squeezed my eyes shut. My hands were shaking so hard I couldn't hold my phone. He stayed there for what felt like forever, pressing his forehead against the glass, breathing heavily. And then he started jiggling the doorknob. The air in the room turned electric with panic. Everyone started screaming for their lives. Miss Haley kept pleading with Kessler to stop, but he had turned into a complete maniac. My mind raced. He wasn't going to stop. The only thing between him and us was that lock. And if he got in, I don't even know what came over me. Without thinking, I started pulling my desk to shield the door. Seeing me do that, many others followed. Mr. Kessler kept kicking and screaming, but he couldn't get in. We could hear his frustrated footsteps making rounds around the classroom. And finally, we heard the sirens. Once the police got in, it was over in seconds. Through the window, I saw them restraining Mr. Kessler face down on the floor. His lab coat was soaked with blood. The scalpel was lying a few feet away. They rushed Jake, who was miraculously still breathing even after all that blood loss. The cops led Mr. Kessler out in handcuffs. He didn't fight. We all came out and stood in the hallway watching him. He turned his head just before getting inside the cop car and chuckled creepily, then shouted, "I'll be back, because science class isn't over." That was the last time I saw him. The school was closed for a week after that. The hall where it happened sealed off. The news said the injured kid would recover, but no one explained why Mr. Kessler snapped. Some say he had a mental breakdown. Others whispered it was revenge. For me, I can't shake the feeling that it wasn't random, that he came looking for me and my friends, that maybe safeguarding the door saved all of our lives.